Well, we're glad to have you at another week of Talk It Over. This week we're starting the discussion on the new series Toxic, and we're talking about toxic thoughts. I have Terry with me today. Terry's a valuable staff member. Tell us, Terry, what you do and a little bit about your family.
I am the HR director for Life Church, and I'm married to my husband Kyle, and we have 3 kids and live in Edmond.
So what does the HR director of Life Church do?
We handle all of the employee benefits, the recruitment, and just help everybody do their ministry without the worry of all those administrative things. So
thank you for helping me do ministry without the worry of all those administrative things.
You're welcome.
You do great.
My pleasure.
Well, we talked, Terry, about, I broke it down into 4 different kind of categories of toxic thoughts that people deal with. Some people are kind of consumed with real negative thoughts. The self-talk about what I can't do, I'm not good enough, God's not going to be there for me. We talked about fearful thoughts. We talked about discontented thoughts. We talked about critical thoughts. And we looked at the video where people actually kind of wrote their toxic thoughts on the wall. In your own life, has there ever been a time or a season maybe that you battled a certain kind of toxic thought that was really destructive to you?
Absolutely. Worry has always been real dominant in really my whole life, but specifically when I became a mother, it became more prominent. And my mother and my grandmother joke that it's hereditary, just passed down generation to generation, which probably is true a little bit.
Yeah, that's in some ways totally not a joke. That in many ways that could be something very harmful that has been passed down, as well as good things that have been passed down as well. So how old are your kids?
They're about to be 6, one's 4, and one is 8.
So what kind of things do you specifically worry about for those aged children?
You know, there's the general just worry of parenthood, but mine is specifically when they're out of my control, when I don't have the ability to protect them or to see exactly what they're doing, or I have to trust them to somebody else.
I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, and to overcome that, I think we have to start and give it a name and say this is toxic, this is wrong. It's really a sin, the lack of faith. And in our video, we showed our toxic man painting over the wrong thoughts and replacing them with truth. Now that you've named it, how is God helping you to replace the sin of worry with faith and truth?
For me, I can really say several years ago, I don't remember the specific situation, but my oldest, I think I was going to go stay with my mother for a week. And it was really difficult for me to let her go, again, just because I don't have control over where she is and what she's doing. And logically, there's no better person other than me than my mom. And God really worked on me just to remind me that it is a faith issue. They're his kids, they're not my kids. And to be able to get to a point where I say, they are his. If I have them for a week, or I have them for 18 years, or I have them for 50, 60, 80 years, they're God's kids, not my kids, and I have to trust that he has them.
That's a great example. So whenever you worry, the biblical term would be, or phrase would be, to take those thoughts captive and make them obedient to Christ. And so you literally replace your old worries with faith statements and truth. And how has that helped or changed you?
It helps me just to let it go. In my head, what I'm saying is that I'm okay with whatever God does with my children. And that's really hard to get to that point, but I have to keep telling myself over and over that I trust God with myself every day, and I have to trust him with my kids. And it's a worry, it's a battle every single day to be okay with, just to trust God with whatever tomorrow holds.
Interesting. If you can trust God with your eternity, how hard it is to trust him with other things as well. But that's great. So in your own life, what I do hope you'll do is be real honest, be transparent, talk it over, and talk about any toxic thoughts that would not be pleasing to God. Grab them, take them captive, make them obedient to Christ, replace toxic thoughts with the truth of God's Word, and watch as you're totally transformed. Talk it over.